Hi Jessica.
Hi Percy.
Long time no see. I come to present my reflections on the number 2 task of MM5 webinars.
Okay Percy. Please give the title, date, presenter, course number or name, and where the online presentation took place.
The title of the webinar is Learning How to Speed Read in an Information Overloaded World. Released on Monday, November 3, 2014, presented by Zaid Ali Alsagoff.
Interesting topic. Please describe the event briefly.
At the beginning of the webinar, Nelly Deutsch present the speaker Zaid Ali Alsagoff, e-learning manager at the International Medical University MU, researcher in several key e-learning areas, including educational gaming, role-play simulation, virtual classrooms, learning content management systems, e-learning standards, instructional design and courseware development. The theme of the webinar developed in WYSIG platform is about learning how to speed read in an information overload world. Zaid asked participants if someone took a speed reading course before. Then he asked to make an experiment. Zaid give us a link to make a speed reading test in staple.com. After giving the necessary time to resolve the test, he asked participants to share his results in the chat box. Zaid told us that the main subject of this webinar is about speed reading and other methodologies to improve reading asoxy or mental photography. He shared with us a video about this methodology. Zaid told us in this seminar will teach us what he worked to improve readability. Currently the amount of information to assimilate is growing and needs a technique to assimilate and understand this information. He shows us an example of the growth of medical knowledge, which is doubling every 3 years now and it will double every 73 days in the future. So it's important to have a technique to assimilate and understand the enormous amount of information presented to us daily. Then, we obtain the ability to read quickly and understand what we read. There are many benefits to read quickly. Taking as its starting point the reading speed test done, we must compare it with the WPM table shows the range of words read per minute and the status where we are. For example, in my case I have 214 WPM or words per minute, indicating that I have an average level for English as a first language, but it is a high level as a second language. Zaid asked to share their findings in the chat box. The purpose of this webinar is to know why I cannot read fast and we can do to improve it. For that today we have to focus on 5 aspects of reading. How to focus. How to improve my speed. How to understand what I read. Comprehension. How to recall what I'm reading. How to curate information. First, how to focus. Focusing is about saying no. It means saying no to the hundreds of ideas that there are and pick carefully one of those to deepen. To improve the focus we can do juggling, for example. Juggling enhance the coordination, the eye speed and the memory. Other technique is alternate nostril breathing to activate your whole brain. Other technique is to try to be in alpha state of brain waves. We can use also the Albert Einstein's distraction index drill, a method to empower 99.9% focus and concentration. Finally, is important to the ones that want improved focus to read the following checklist. Define your targets. Breath to relax. Visualize that you will succeed. Choose brain-stimulating places to study. Use natural light whenever possible. Take power naps to re-energize the brain. Eat healthy and light to stay alert. Mix with people that are hungry to learn. You can learn anything. Yes, you can. Second, how to improve my speed. We can improve the speed following the next suggestions. Is a good habit to preview the books that you want to read. Use improved speed internet tools like Spritz, Exler Reader, Spreader or Spreed, and apps like Accelerate or Quick Reader. Your comprehension level will improve as you practice. Focus on speed first. Use a guide to read like a finger, pen, paper or pointer to keep the focus. Identify bad reading habits, minimize regressions or rereadings, increase vision span, develop smart eye movement, stop, reduce, distract vocalization, internal speech. Third, how to understand what I read. Comprehension using the SQ3R method applied on speed reading based on survey, question, read, recite and review what I want to read. Fourth, how to recall what I'm reading. Development short-term memory. repeating in mind what we read, spaced repetition of what we read, using the theory of primacy and recency effect of recall, note-taking of what we read with different methods apps. To memorize, use the memory palace, the location method and the PEG systems. Talk to yourself or teach someone what you learned. Memorize on an empty stomach. We have to know that beyond speed reading is photo reading, mental photography and quantum reading. Fifth, how to curate information? Using social networking platforms as Google, Twitter, Facebook. Using social intelligence curation bookmarking tools as Blendspace, Feedly, Pinterest, Listly, Digo, Pearltrees, Delicious, Scoop Dotted, Storify, GERSS Hopper, Flipboard or Zite. Using social citations referencing tools as RefWorks, What Is, Mendeley, Zotero, SiteUlike, OnEnote, Evernote, EndNote. Using social media for research knowledge sharing platform of Zaidali Alsagoff. Finally, for a best speed reading we have to practice and practice, using the different techniques showed. Enjoy and have fun in the challenge.
Good summary, Percy. Tell me, did you connect with the other attendees or the speaker? If so, how?
Yes, there was an interaction between the speaker and the live webinar attendees. Through the use of text, emoticons and other symbols used from the chat box menu by participants, easy communication and interaction ensured.
Percy, what questions came up as during the event?
The following questions appeared in the webinar. Someone of the participants take a speed reading test. How to focus. How to improve my speed. How to understand what I read. How to recall what I'm reading. How to curate information.
Percy, how did the content relate to you as a teacher and/or learner or individual?
As a teacher, the content has to do with knowing how to implement the speed reading methods to the students. As a student, the content is related also into know a technique to assimilate and understand the huge amount of information presented to us daily in classes. As an individual person, the content relates on knowing some speed reading tips for the everyday life.
Other question, Percy. What were some of the thoughts that went through your mind during the event?
My first thought was the desire to obtain information about the basic definitions about speed reading. Another thought I had was to know what are the methodologies and techniques to improve my speed reading. Finally, I thought I would take some information about tools and the internet that help me to focus, understand, recall and curate information.
How did you feel during the event? If you felt good, what made you feel good? If you felt discomfort, what made you feel discomfort?
I felt good at the event. What made me feel good at the event was I learned about speed reading, a topic I never touch. Another thing that made me feel good was to know about the different methodologies, techniques, tips and tools that we can use to improve the reading.
Percy, what challenges might you encounter in implementing some of the ideas?
Well, Jessica, the first challenge is to define well my read target to focus properly. The second challenge is to identify bad reading habits for a better speed reading. The third challenge is to learn how to use the SQ3R method to a better understanding of what I read. The fourth challenge is to develop my short-term memory for a better recall of what I'm reading. Finally, my fifth challenge is to curate information properly using social networking, bookmarking, curation, citation and referencing tools.
What steps can you take to resolve the challenges?
First, to define my target to focus properly, I can use some techniques like breath to relax, visualize successful, choose brain-stimulating places to study and use natural light to study. Second, for a better speed reading I can use a guide to read, minimize rereading, increase vision span and develop smart eye movement. Third, to understand better what I read I can make a survey about the topic, make questions, read, recite and review what I want to read. Fourth, for a better recall of what I'm reading I can repeat in my mind what we read, spaced repetition of what we read. Fifth, for accurate information I can learn about and create accounts on social networkings like Facebook and Twitter. Also I can create accounts on different curation tools as Feedly or Listly, and finally the same with social citations, referencing tools as RefWorks or Zotero.
Lack little to end the exposure. Penultimate question. What would you like to do in the future as a result of what you heard, read, saw in the event?
Applied all the theory, methodologies, tips and tools about improved speed reading for my reading goals.
Finally, write a question or two that you would like to research look into as a result of the event.
First question: what techniques to minimize the regressions reread exist and how are they used? Second question: what techniques to increase vision span exist and how are they used?
Percy, well, I think your presentation has been well done. So you're approved. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, Jessica. I will continue striving to give good presentations. Thanks for everything and we are in contact. Bye bye.
Percy, bye. See you soon.